behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming up shortly. But before we begin, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button and bell buttons below you there. And you're always going to be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment as always on the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you there. And if you pay attention to the description part as well as the closing credits at the end of this program, you'll see contact info. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Waynesboro, Tennessee, we have Jacob Kyles with us today. Another great artist, and we're glad to have him on the show. And we'll get to that in a second, but first, here's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Waynesboro, Tennessee, we have Jacob Kyles with us today. Thanks for joining us, Jacob.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, well, tell everybody a little bit about how you began, as far as an artist. I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be one since you were a little kid. Maybe you discovered it much later and decided to do it. Tell us in your own words, though.
Well, I doubt we got enough time for all that, but I'll sum it up as quick as I can. My dad was a songwriter. He wrote a few songs, quite a few songs, a lot of songs for Garth Brooks, Travis Tritt, Conway Twitty, a lot of big artists in Nashville. We lived in Memphis when I was born, and so I was born in Memphis and lived there till I was about 7. Actually got to go out on the road with B.B. King for a couple of weeks. Me and my brother did. As young kids, my dad just kind of taking us along. He was a backup musician for him while he was in a tight spot at one point. After that, we moved closer to Nashville, and I picked up on guitar pretty quick, and my brother did too, and we jammed a lot. We listened to bands like Metallica and stuff, and I never really paid a whole lot of attention to country as much, and I only later did I, have an understanding of just music in general and how much respect all of it calls for. But yeah, and I've finally hooked up with a guy. I've done this for quite a few times. I wrote with Cal 4 Entertainment in Nashville for a few years. Back 15 years ago, maybe, and I've always did this, and it's what I'm good at. My cousin Joe Scaife, he produced Billy Ray Cyrus and Gretchen Wilson and Montgomery Gentry, and so I've always been in a family full of music people.
Yeah, that's quite a career there too. You mentioned a lot of great ones. I guess they were probably your influences too, because I know you said you remembered growing up playing a lot of Metallica and things like that. So
yeah.
And anyway, yeah. Were there any other influences besides those, or?
There's tons of influences. Just like my favorite guitarist was the guy for Pantera. Man, he was incredible. But as far as just it's just in general, I love blues and like Hendrix and guys like that. There's a lot, mainly older artists, but some even not here to this day. But yeah, anything to do with guitars, for sure. That's my favorite.
Okay, yeah, like I said, a lot of living legends there, and no longer with us legends. Let's put it that way. And
yes, sir.
Well, how can we find out more about you? Do you have an official web address? Do you have streaming media, social media? Tell everybody about all that.
We do. We have it's www.jacobkyles.com. We have a small website, and I've got most of the website links on that website. Jacob Kyles on Facebook, and I've actually got Instagram. I just don't ever hardly use it much, but
Okay, well, check him out there on jacobkyles.com anyway, and check out everything he has to offer there. I know he will love you for that. Okay, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about this video we're about to watch, and if there's a story behind it. I'm sure it's a great story behind it.
well, it's actually just a part of a whole bunch of songs I've got. There's not really a specific story behind it. It's just my stories are more of a feeling, I guess you could say. And actually, I went to Atlanta yesterday to cut a music video for this song. We're a little bit behind on doing all this stuff, and we've been wanting a video for a while, but we finally got that all in place. This is just the track that's up on YouTube.
Okay, and it's called All Forgiving. Great title, by the way. It's a great song, and I love listening to this. And I know you all will too. And we're going to get to that in just one second. But before we do, Jacob, we thank you so much for coming on the show today. We'd love to have you back again sometime.
I'd love to be back anytime.
Okay, well, here is All Forgiven by Jacob Kyles. It begins right now.